We'll open up for
Recording in
questions for
progress.
Tyler.
Hey, did you see the press coming? And I guess I'll start with that. Yeah, did you see the press coming?
Yes, we did. We didn't handle it well early. They got out of it, in the second half. They were in and out of it, but yes, we were aware.
And then you guys spent the week working on handling pressure, and then this game was tough. I guess, how did you feel about it?
Yeah, I think sometimes handling pressure is mental as much as it is physical, and we didn't do it consistently enough tonight. Another 20-plus point or 20-plus turnover game, which is it's tough to win when you add that with giving up two 30-point quarters to a team as good as Phoenix. It makes it tough.
We'll go to Brian, front row.
Coach, I just wanted to get your thoughts on just the actions with AT and Whitcomb. Obviously, the three-point shooting was pretty effective for Phoenix today. Just wanted to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I thought that we struggle to stay connected to their shooters. They're a team that wants to get up a ton of threes. We knew that going into it. I thought that we lost connection to them way too often, and we talked about overhelping on their drives, and AT was still able to draw defenders and kick out, and they knocked them down. And so when you get down in that type of hole, our team isn't built to come back from those types of deficits. And so we can't put ourselves in that big of a hole that early. I thought that the group that played the whole fourth and closed out in the third continued to fight, but just overall we gotta have a better approach.
We'll go Carly to Naomi.
Coach, the theme all season with you guys has been turnovers and then perimeter defense. At what point does there need to be some type of change, either from a roster standpoint or in how you guys approach game planning and mindsets?
Yeah, I think it's something that we continue to look at, especially game plan wise and what we have internally. We've mixed up the lineups here and there. We played several different lineups with multiple ball handlers out there just to kind of maintain and handle the pressure. And been struggling to find something that consistently works, but that's part of our job. So we got to continue to do that. In terms of changing the roster, I don't really want to get into that. I think that what we got to focus on is who we have in this locker room right now, and understanding what we got to do to be the best version of who we are and who we have right now.
Let's go to Naomi, then Brian, and Zachary.
Coach, to piggyback off of that, what is your message to this fan base who may, be losing hope or not having clarity of what the identity of this team is, given that we're seeing so much consistent issues throughout these games? What would be your message to the fan base that might be losing hope?
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think that we're all frustrated, obviously, but I think that as a fan and sometimes as a player, you're only able to see what's right in front of you. You don't have the whole picture or the whole story. And for us as a staff, we kind of have a big picture outlook. And so for us, as frustrated as we are, we know the work that we put in and that the players put in, most importantly, each day. And so nobody's happy. Nobody is content with where we're at. We continue to show up each day and put in the amount of energy and work to be successful. And it hasn't turned into the results yet, but we're going to keep fighting. And I think that as much as passion and dedication and work ethic is part of this city, I know the will to fight is as well. And so that hasn't been lost amongst us, staff or players. And so we're going to continue to push, continue to work, continue to fight. And I think as a coach, you can't fully invest with outside noise. You got to lock in for your players and stay consistent for them and keep them believing. And I think we do.
Last few, we'll go Brian and Zachary.
So, Coach, the half-court sets in the first half, you guys were really getting the ball into Camila. But what did you see there in that third quarter that kind of got out of control for you?
Yeah, I think that we got a couple players that are banged up, so we want to be mindful of minutes. I think that when the game got out of hand there midway through the third, for us it was more preservation at that point, and players were almost at their limit anyway, being on a back-to-back, and so we wanted to be mindful of that. And if the game wasn't as out of hand, then maybe it would have looked different. But we got to be healthy and ready to go into Atlanta tomorrow. We got 3 games in 4 days with LA on that following Tuesday. So we got to be mindful of having healthy bodies so that we can give as good of an effort as we can going into tomorrow's game.
We'll close out with Zachary.
Hey, Coach. Camila obviously shot 77% from the field today. Her consistency, her flow, her game is just continuing to grow pretty much every single game. What's your assessment of where she's at right now?
Yeah, I think that she asserted herself early today. She was did a really good job of being aggressive once the ball was into her and attacking before they could bring double teams and whatnot. I think that tonight offense, outside of the turnovers and their pressure, offense wasn't that much of an issue for us today. It was the defensive end. You can't give up 107 points and expect to come out on the higher end of that. So, usually a 86-point effort for us would, that's kind of where we would want to be. That's a really good day for us offensively, but we got to reciprocate that on the defensive end. So obviously we want to cut down the turnovers. I think when you look at the positives and being able to put 86 on the board with the amount of turnovers that we've had, there's still light at the end of the tunnel from that standpoint. It's just going back to a question earlier with the consistency is one game it's our offense, one game it's our defense. So finding opportunities to where both can kind of work hand in hand and be on the better side of it. That's what we're looking for and what we're striving for. So,
Thanks everyone.